Alright, we got our hole cover set, so now we're going to set up the tip-up. So, basically, insert your flag here, pull your rod holder out, insert it there, and then just set it away from the hole, and then pop your trigger arm out and set her on the base. So what I've been doing is I've been using a lot of lures or a lot of weights with my minnows. Instead of having a sinker up higher and then a hook down below, I'm just keeping the weight with the bait. And you don't have to check for depth or anything. Basically, you're just going to lower this right down to bottom. And you want to position this enough away from the hole where it's kind of centered to off center a little bit. So now you see my bait is on bottom. You see the slack in the line there. Now you're just going to close your bail, and I'm just going to tighten that. You see my line got tight? Now just the distance from here to underneath the trigger arm, and that's going to put me about 6 inches off bottom. If you want a little further off bottom, you could maybe just do one more revolution on the spool. Now you see this is starting to come up off the base there, so I got this set pretty light. So what I'm going to do is you're just going to move this O-ring forward. That's going to slide that flag forward, and that's just going to put a little more tension on there. Now you see it staying down on the base. The other thing I want to mention is this washer here. Typically, you never move that. That stays right there because that's where all the leverage is. Basically, that's to keep the line back here and keep your leverage where you need it. So that just makes it much easier for this to go off. The other way I like to hook minnows, I got one set up here. So say you're using some bigger shiners, you're going for some bigger walleyes. We've been hooking these shiners like this, just behind the head, between the dorsal fin and the head, about halfway, and then kind of position that hook so it's angled back, because those walleyes are going to grab this minnow from the head, and then you set the hook, you got them. This has been a real high percentage hook for us. And again, this is a tungsten jig, so I'll just show you how fast that goes down. So you don't have to mess around with any bobber stop or anything on your line to mark your depth. It's as simple as just lowering it down to the bottom, closing the bail, and I got a little tangle in the line here. And again, you see where the line's tight? Then you're just going to put it underneath the trigger arm and set it again. Now this is a little bit bigger minnow here, so I'm just going to add a little more tension. So just move this forward a little more. If you are getting false flags, the minnow's tripping it, just put a little more tension on there, just enough so that that minnow's not going to trip it. And then you put your hole cover in place and you're ready to go.